In 2023, Royal Caribbean's top tiers of its customer loyalty program grew by 30% alone. In 2024, Royal Caribbean Group opened the year with its strongest booked position in the company's history from both a pricing and volume standpoint. And with all that combined, that means a lot of people are going on cruises, and more importantly, a lot of people are going back on cruises again and again. So with that kind of demand, how does Royal Caribbean manage its customer loyalty benefits, many of which are dependent on offering special perks for guests while on board their cruise without becoming totally overwhelmed? This conversation began really in earnest in late 2023 when Royal Caribbean CEO Michael Bailey posted on Facebook talking about overcrowding in the Crown Lounge. The Crown Lounge is a dedicated space on every single Royal Caribbean cruise ship that is for people that have reached a certain tier in the Crown and Anchor Society, meaning people that have achieved the highest tiers of the program are able to go into this particular space. The problem, though, especially during the evening hours, sometimes during the morning, is they can get very, very crowded. And this particular problem is a microcosm of the bigger issue that Royal Caribbean is dealing with, which is, of course, high demand, repeatability by its customers, and a lot more people than ever competing for those same benefits. After all, Royal Caribbean doesn't want to disappoint its customers. It certainly doesn't want to take away any benefits that they've provided over the years, but at the same time, there is a theoretical limit to some of these benefits that are there. It's an interesting problem that Royal Caribbean faces as they continue to grow, and this balancing act is something a lot of other cruisers are paying a lot of attention to. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and if you've cruised before at least a couple of times, then certainly the Crown and Anchor benefits you receive on your cruise are something that definitely makes your cruise just a little bit better. Ever since I started cruising and started realizing there were some interesting benefits, especially when you reach the upper tiers of the program, it really made a difference in how we cruise, whether it was a free drink somewhere or it was a discount on Wi-Fi. Every little bit helps. Similar to an airline rewards program or a hotel one for that matter, for every cruise you take, you earn points for the travel that you've gone on, and unlike the airlines, these points never expire, and essentially the more you cruise, the higher you'll move up in the tiers, and there are certain benefits that really make a difference, especially when you reach the upper limits, which begins with Diamond, then Diamond Plus, and finally Pinnacle Club. Now, the nature of the program has evolved over time. There have been benefits that have been added, taken away, altered, changed, however you want to look at it. By far the best benefits of reaching the top tier include getting access to the Crown Lounge, free Wi-Fi, discounts at the spa, and a few others that are really notable. And access to the Crown Lounge is arguably one of the most visible benefits of being a Diamond member or higher because, of course, if there's issues getting in there, well, then you're going to know about it pretty darn quickly. In fact, on certain cruises in which there are a lot of top tier members on board, access to the Crown Lounge during the evening hours, which is the most popular time to go in there, can be limited to just certain members of the Crown and Anchor Society, while others, like maybe Diamond, aren't allowed in there. Depending on your sailing, you may receive a letter in your cabin from the Crown Lounge concierge informing you that the Crown Lounge is reserved only for Diamond Plus and Pinnacle Club members between 5 and 8 p.m. or something similar to that. This particular issue of Crown Lounge access is a bigger debate, really, among Crown and Anchor members about how sustainable the program really is. In this scenario, truly Royal Caribbean is a victim of its own success. Cruising has been very popular for a long, long time now. Even before 2020, cruising was on the uptick, and the years of 2017, 2018, 2019 saw huge demand and record numbers of people booking cruises. 2019 had been the high watermark for the industry. And as the industry shut down in 2020 and 2021 due to the global health crisis, Royal Caribbean was in an interesting position because they wanted to generate cash flow while still being able to stay afloat and in business during a time in which they weren't operating cruises. So what they did was they started offering a number of different lucrative promotions, a combination of lower prices for cruising and higher benefits for booking another cruise, namely extra bonus points in Crown and Anchor Society, really set them up for an influx of new top-tier members. During the post-pandemic cruising restart, Royal Caribbean offered a lucrative program where loyalty members could earn double Crown and Anchor points for all itineraries. This meant if you sailed on a 7-night itinerary in a standard cabin, instead of earning 7 Crown and Anchor points, you would earn 14. Couple this with staying in a suite or cruising solo, and you can even get more points, now going all the way up to 21 points for a 7-night cruise, or even more than that. Offering double points made it very feasible for Royal Caribbean cruisers to earn top-tier status far faster than ever before. Cruise fans were not afraid to make bookings and hopefully position themselves for a new sailing in the future, and many took advantage of this promotion throughout 2021 and 2022. The strategy made sense operationally for Royal Caribbean to lure back loyal cruisers post-pandemic, while the general public might have maintained some hesitancy towards cruising. And this promotion was obviously very enticing for those who wanted to bump up their Royal Caribbean status. It is, after all, lucrative to be able to get to those higher tiers. Really, anybody booking a cruise during this period would have stood to benefit. As an example, our own videographer Jenna here at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com earned Diamond Plus status within 1 year of cruising purely because of the double points promotion. Her first Royal Caribbean cruise was in 2021, and she got to Diamond Plus within a year, whereas it took me from 2005 to reach Diamond Plus about a decade later. The double points promotion ended in December 2022, although only cruises booked in 2021 for the following year qualified. Undoubtedly, this had a major contribution to the lounge overcrowding issue because of the influx of new top-tier members with no place to go other than the Diamond Lounge. And Royal Caribbean has been tweaking its benefits since then. Diamond Plus members have had removed their access to the Concierge Lounge, which was kind of an antiquated lounge. It only existed on a couple different ships, but access to that was officially removed. And then there was the drink voucher change, which was arguably Royal Caribbean's first foray into really trying to address the issues of the Crown Lounge. Because prior to this change, Crown Lounge members were only able to receive complimentary drinks in the lounge during happy hour, which ran between 5 and 8:30. Now, obviously, that generated a lot of foot traffic in there. So to combat overcrowding in the lounge, Royal Caribbean made the decision to allocate daily drink vouchers onto SeaPass cards. Drink vouchers can be used at any bar on board for nearly any drink under $15, so you no longer had to go simply to the Crown Lounge in order to redeem it, and it was available all day long. But the Crown Lounge is more than just simply a place to get drinks. Each evening, you can find different nightly appetizers served, and if you're sailing on an older ship with limited dining options, then grabbing a snack in the early evening can be really nice if you have later dining. In addition, you can find continental breakfast served in the Crown Lounge each morning, and arguably the most important thing is there are complimentary specialty coffee options in there with the espresso machine. And of course, there's the dedicated Crown Lounge concierge who can help you with all sorts of issues you might have on board, including dining reservations, questions, tender tickets, and more. All of this leaves Royal Caribbean in a precarious situation. If they remove access and they say, okay, Crown Lounge members are only available to Diamond Plus and Pinnacle, thus getting rid of the Diamond folks, well, then they're removing a major perk. And for a lot of people, that seems like a promise revoked. Other people have suggested maybe adding a new tier between Diamond Plus and Pinnacle, but Royal Caribbean already has the most tiers of any cruise line customer loyalty program, and it essentially moves the goalpost back, which doesn't really address the problem, just delays it again. Some have suggested that Royal Caribbean add additional space for Crown Lounge acts or something similar to that, but that seems unlikely given that the Crown Lounges in general on newer ships have been relegated to smaller locations and certainly not nearly as interesting. It's been apparent for quite some time that Royal Caribbean has systematically been moving the location and size of the Crown Lounge to be certainly less exceptional when they used to be on older ships. The best thing to come out of this entire issue has been the creation of the drink voucher policy, or the amendment of thereof, to allow you to have all your drinks throughout the day, even at Perfect Day, Coco Key, or La Badie, with no time limit on them, and no restriction on where you can have it, which means that you can enjoy your drinks elsewhere outside of the Crown Lounge and not be nearly as dependent on it. Now, a lot of people that cruise a lot, especially people that have cruised for a long time, like the Crown Lounge for its social aspect. Essentially, they like being able to be there, be seen, and meet other people in there. And certainly the social aspect of that is rather enticing. But the drink vouchers do allow a greater sense of flexibility in the sense that you're not necessarily needed to go to one place in order to get them, and being able to use them throughout the day and for any drink under $15 is truly a nice benefit. Ever since Michael Bailey brought up this issue in 2023, there really has not been much of a change in what Royal Caribbean has done. As I mentioned, on certain sailings, there are letters sent to guests to inform them that may not have access to certain places. As an example, as a Pinnacle Club member, there are many cruises in which I'm not allowed to go to the Suite Lounge because there are too many top-tier members on board. Access to the Suite Lounge as a Pinnacle Club member is mirroring, in a lot of cases, what's happening with the Crown Lounge, in the sense that as a Pinnacle Club member, we theoretically have access to the Suite Lounge. But if there are too many other Pinnacle Club members on board a ship, and that number does vary depending on the size of the ship, then they restrict the amount of people that are allowed to go in there. In both the case of the Suite Lounge as well as the Crown Lounge, Royal Caribbean seems content, at least in the short term, to be able to manage it on a case-by-case basis, meaning how many people are on board the cruise, and then depending on that sailing, what the situation dictates. I want to know in the comments below, how would you fix the overcrowding issue, and what changes would you make to Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society? Is there a better solution to what Royal Caribbean is doing, or is it kind of a no-win scenario for either case, the guest and the cruise line? It's definitely something I've thought about a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas down below the video. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.